Namaskaram friends. So today I am going to talk about five important issues of 26th of May 2022. So in this video I choose five different topics. One is from geography, another one is from politics, two is from economics, and one is from science and technology. So in geography today I am going to talk about international boundary of India, their land frontier, their coastlines, what is the length and breadth of India, how Sri Lanka is separated from India, like Parkway, Gulf of Mannar, and the uh, you can say the comparison between land boundary and coastal boundary. Okay, in polity, I am going to talk about anti-national activity. Is the term anti-national defined in the constitution or not? Because nowadays for different issues, people uses the you can say base of constitution and they express their right to freedom, right to assembly. So here fundamental right play a very significant role, and also what is written in the constitution in terms of anti-national activity, in terms of protest, in terms of on which issue we talk and on which issue we don't. So all these things are very important. Okay. Third one is I am going to talk about economic. That means employment and inflation. How employment and inflation is related with each other. Is RBI have a role to play in it? That means they control this inflation and how which curve define this phenomenon. Okay. Another one is the pillars of IPEF, Indo-Pacific Economic Forum framework for prosperity. So in the whole manner, I am going to talk about how this IPEF, how the pillars of IPEF define the whole concept of this organization and how it benefits different countries. And last one is I am going to talk about science and technology, chemistry, elements, rare earth element. How many rare earth elements are present on planet Earth? What are their uses? Where we use rare earth elements? So in this manner, I am going to talk about the whole issue and try to say understand its core, try to understand its surface, its role in our life, its role in the economy of any country, in the economy of the whole world, in the life of the people. Because what we study on daily basis basically is that issue actually benefited me, benefited the society, benefited the nation, benefited the community. If yes, or you can say benefited not in terms of only money and power, also in terms of knowledge. That means everything we do not look in terms of money and power. And we must experience everything in terms of experience and knowledge. If any problem occur, we endeavor into to solve that problem. And if any problem do not occur, we try to enhance our mechanism. Because the ultimate evolution take us to such a level that after that we focus much on subtle dimension of existence, unity. We focus on unity, we focus on subtle dimension of existence. We understand physicality, non-physical. That means what a human being is capable of. Everyone is very genius. We are separate from other species on the basis of our mind. So we have to use our mind on such a level that we are capable of solving problem which is generated by the human being, what is generated by the creator. We understand it, we pray it, because we are just a piece of the whole creation. So how the whole creation is concerned, we first understand it and now apply this knowledge in our life for the benefit of our life, our family, our society, our community, our state, our nation, and the our you can say world as a whole. If you go in for our solar system, our galaxy, our cluster, our super cluster, that means everything. Okay, that's why on daily basis we try to endeavor into different arena, try to solve problem in that arena, so that we are capable of solving as much problem as we can in our lifetime and gain as much knowledge as we can in our lifetime, so that we live a good full-fledged life on this planet Earth and enhance the life of our enhance the life of other life form and also understand the mystery of the creation. Because on daily basis, infinite types of things, infinite types of mysteries going on in the whole creation. If you pay attention on anything, you observe it. It is not just a talk, it is a reality, it is an experience. Okay. So now I am going to start the lecture of today. So the first topic of today's lecture is inflation and unemployment. First one is inflation and unemployment. So what basically inflation and unemployment is? There is a trade-off between inflation and unemployment. There is always trade-off between inflation and unemployment. Typically, when an economy goes through a phase of high inflation, when economy goes through high inflation, not sure, chances are that unemployment rate will fall. That means if inflation increase, unemployment level fall. How this happens? What is the reason behind it? That is because firms, industries, enticed by the higher prices, they, you can say, enticed by the higher prices of the commodity, try to ramp up production, because when they ramp up production, they produce more commodities, sell in the market, they earn more money, so they are in the profit side. So for ramp up the production, they recruit more people. Okay, when inflation is high, prices of commodity increases, so industries, firms, persuaded by it, enticed by it, they hire more employees to, or more recruitment workers, so that they produce more product and sell in the market at great profit of them. Okay, so this is the reason how, if inflation increases, employment decreases. High inflation may be robbing people of their purchasing power. If inflation high, that means, if inflation is high, then this price of commodity is high. So it will impact our purchasing power, because for the same commodity we pay more price. Earlier, if we purchase a bread, we pay 50 rupees, but now we pay 70 rupees. So it is directly impact on our purchasing power. It is also important to understand that monetary policy does not have a direct solution to controlling such cost push inflation. Monetary policy, RBI, it is direct in the control of RBI, but RBI do not have a direct control on cost push inflation. That means inflation caused by cost push increases the prices of the goods, because RBI do not directly control it, because it do not control the fuel and food prices. Now, it may reduce the demand of a commodity, demand of the people, but it do not directly reduce the prices of the fuel or food. Okay, it cannot make fuel prices lower by raising interest rate. If it make interest rate, that means less money available in the market, less money available in the hands of the people. So people may not demand things on higher scale, but monetary policy do not reduce the prices of the fuel and food. Okay, it all can do to control demand. Okay, it all can do to control demand in the economy. It control the economy, but cannot make fuel prices lower. Demand control, but not food prices or fuel prices lower. So this is a very beautiful picture of how inflation and employment are trade-off. How is the relation between inflation and unemployment? Generally, when inflation is high, employment is on a lower side. So in this graph you can clearly see. In this graph you can clearly see. This graph is called a Philip curve. Philip curve, that means when inflation increases, you can clearly see when inflation increases, unemployment rate decreases. Okay, so this is a Philip curve, or you can say when unemployment decreases and unemployment increases, inflation decreases. So vice versa. So I told you the reason why it is: when inflation increases, price of the commodity increases, firms want to profit, so they produce more product. For that, they have recruit more number of people, so employment increases and unemployment decreases. Okay. Now I am going to solve one question on it, and you also very clearly see all the option of the question, and after that we mark which one is right and which one is wrong. So when an economy goes through a phase of high inflation, when an economy goes through a phase of high inflation, inflation is high, there are chances that unemployment rate will fall. Yes. What is the first concept of the previous slide? Higher inflation can lower the purchasing power of the consumer. Yes. Inflation is high, it directly impacts the purchasing power of the people. So this one is correct, this one is correct. The RBI monetary policy is a direct impact on control of the cost push. No, it controls the demand but cannot reduce, or you can say lower down the prices of the fuel. So it does not have a, RBI monetary policy does not have a direct impact. Okay, so third one is wrong. So option is 1 and 2. That means option A. Let us check we are on the right path or not. So yes, solution is yes. So we are on the right path. Now I'm going to talk about the pillar of IPEF, Indo-Pacific Economic Framework for Prosperity. So the four pillars of IPEF are very important. Four pillars are: first one is trade, second one is supply chain resilience, third one is clean energy and decarbonization, and fourth one is tax and anti-corruption. So all are related to economy and trade. That means so four pillars are trade, supply chain, clean energy, and tax and anti-corruption. And in this many subparts are there. So in trade means trade that will include digital economy, Digital economy, that means our economy, most of the things done we in economy must be digitalized so that it reduces time and increases efficiency. Emerging technology, we adopt new technology because so that our production high, efficiency high, and less cost of production. Labor commitment, that means commitment towards labor, uh, their work hour, their say good way of life, or not way of life, you can say quality of life, their work hour, and which types of labor is required in which types of area. Okay. Last one, next one is environment. So environment basically environment clearances on it does not directly impact the environment of any country. Trade felicitation, e.g. the trade activity, transparency and good regulatory practice. If any bad happening happen or anything we do, we must be transparent and good regulatory practice. Whatever we practice is around in a good regulatory condition. And corporate accountability. This is the responsibility of the corporate. If they do anything wrong or right, they have the direct responsibility on it. And standards on cross-border trade flows and data localization. Localize the data in their own country. Cross-border trade flows. If what types of standard we follow, if trade is going on in cross-border manner. So in trade, all these important concepts. Okay. Digital economy, emerging technology, labor commitment, environment, trade felicitation, transparency, and good regulatory practice, corporate accountability, standards on cross-border data flow, and data localization. Next one is data supply chain resilience. Supply chain resilience is to develop a first of its kind supply chain management that would anticipate and prevent disruption. So we develop such a supply chain first of its kind. This is a supply chain agreement first of its kind that would anticipate and prevent disruption. If disruption happen, it anticipate it and prevent it. So this type of supply chain resilience mechanism we propose in this IPEF framework, or you can say grouping. Clean. Next one is clean energy and decarbonization. That will include agreement on high ambition commitments such as renewable energy target. What is the target of each country in terms of renewable energy? Carbon renewable purchasing commitment to remove the carbon. What types of purchasing commitment we made? Energy efficiency standards. That means what is the energy efficiency occur in different area, the standards made on that area, and a new measures to combat methane emission. And altogether a new measures to just a minute to combat the methane emission. So new measures to combat methane emission in energy and clean energy and decarbonization. Important points are combat methane emission. New measures are taken to combat the methane emission, and standards of energy efficiency, carbon removal and purchasing commitment, renewable energy targets of renewable energy, and all this 1, 2, 3, 4, all these 5 things are taken care of in clean energy and decarbonization. Next one is tax and anti-corruption, with commitment to intact and enforce effective tax, anti-money laundering, and anti-bribery scheme. So in this, it is committed by the government of different countries that they enact and enforce. They first enact, made a law, and then enforce for effective tax, anti-money laundering, and anti-bribery scheme. So all these are commitment of the pillars of the IPEF institution, and in this they you can try to mostly focus on the 4 pillars: trade, supply chain, clean energy, and tax and anti-corruption. How to tackle tax and anti-corruption activity, what measures they take to you can say improve the clean energy mechanism and decarbonization process, how supply chain resilience, how they make supply chain resilience effective process, and what types of measures they take so that trade is going on in a smooth manner. So this is it. So now we are going to solve one question on IPEF. Indo-Pacific Economic Framework for Prosperity are centered around which of the following pillars? Centered around 4 pillars. We talk about trade, supply chain resilience, clean energy and decarbonization, and taxation and anti-corruption measures. So all the 4 pillars are taken care of in IPEF. So our option is D. Just check we are on the right path or not. Option is D. That means solution D. So we are on the right path. Just remember the 4 pillars. trade, supply chain resilience, clean energy and decarbonization, and taxes and anti-corruption activities or measures. Now move on to next topic called anti-national activity. So the phrase anti-national has not been defined in the statute. This term is not defined in the statute, in the law. Okay. Constitution. In our constitution, 42nd Amendment Act 1976. In 1976, 42nd Amendment is made on Constitution and we insert in the Constitution Article 31D. In 1976 through 42nd Amendment Act, we insert Article 31D in our Constitution during emergency phase, which define anti-national activity. Okay. In 31D through the insertion of 31D through 42nd Amendment 1976, we insert Article 31D, which define anti-national activity. And this Article 31D was subsequently omitted by the Constitution through 43rd Amendment 1977. That means in 1976 through 31st Amendment, 31D Amendment, we inserted the Article in 1976 through 42nd Amendment Act, we insert the Article 31D in the Constitution, which defined the anti-national activity. But subsequently, we omitted this 31D article by 43rd Amendment Act of in 1977. Okay, that means though this concept is nowhere exists today. So we inserted it through 42nd Amendment, omitted this with 43rd Amendment, and article is which Article 31D is added in this regard. So this term is not defined in the statute and neither in the Constitution. Okay. Public order in police. Public order, that means how the order of the public they maintain law and order or not, and the police were the state subject as per the 7th schedule of the Constitution. So as per the 7th schedule of the Constitution, public order and police is the state subject, and data related to how many number of people arrested for indulging in national activity is not maintained centrally. That means center has no role to play how many number of people are arrested in anti-national activity, because public order and police is a state subject. So it is and it is mentioned in the 7th schedule of the Constitution. So there is no role to play by the center how many people are arrested in anti-national activity. It is directly the jurisdiction of state. The responsibility of maintaining law and order. Responsibility of maintaining law and order, including investigation, registration, and prosecution of crime. That means investigate any crime, register a case related to that crime, and prosecute the person indulged in the crime. Protection of life and property of that people. Rest primarily with respect to the state government. That means the whole point is the center has no role to play if any cases related to anti-national activity are going on in terms of their registration, in terms of their investigation, in terms of their prosecution, life of the criminal or life of the prosecuted or accused, in the safety of life and their property, and also how many people are arrested in this regard. It is the state subject, because public order police is a state subject. It is mentioned in the 7th schedule of the Constitution. So you can clearly see in this picture, people raise protest on some issues. So here, if they disrupt public order, police come there to you can say settle down the issue or arrest some people if they not maintain law and order and do their protest through violent activity. So police have a role to play in all this activity, because if this protest is peaceful, it is good. But if it take a violent, you can say violent character, then it is not good for the public order and maintaining harmony in that area or in that society. Okay. So now we are going to solve one question. The phrase anti-national activity. The phrase anti-national activity was added and defined in the 42nd Constitutional Amendment in 1976 and subsequently omitted. It is defined in 42nd Amendment by inserting Article 31D, but later on through 43rd Amendment in 1977 it is omitted. Second one is, so first one is wrong. Second one is public order, police are state subject as per the 7th schedule of the Constitution. Absolutely correct. So option is Hindi. Check. Now we are going to check we are on the right path or not. So option is A. I'm sorry. Question is about which one is incorrect. So first one is correct, incorrect. No? So option is A, not B. I mark it here. I always see this. You can say type. Is it incorrect or correct? Is it asking correct or incorrect? So option A is correct. Now move on to another question called rare earth metal. In this picture, you can clearly see different types of metal. Their color, their shape, their size, their chemical composition, their usage, where they found. That's why they're rare earth metal. Very rarely, very you can say low quantity found in planet Earth, within the planet Earth, and they have very crucial role in manufacturing, in X-ray, and in other activities in other areas. That's why these are very costly and very significant in terms of manufacturing electronics product, any other machine, in making you can say telescope, in making chips, and all other electronics items. So nowadays, you can say in terms of engines, batteries, in this sector, this rare earth element are playing a very significant role. So you can create different types of metal in terms of their shape, size, color, their origin. Okay? So you can clearly see that now we are going to see the usage of metal. So rare earth metal applications, ceramics like lead. I do not remember the name, but LUD. These are ceramics. They are used in capacitors, refrigerators, and not refrigerator, I think refractories, capacitors. When we make you can say in physics, when we make capacitor, which we use in the electronics arena. So capacitors are made out of it. Sensors are made out of it. In terms of magnet, motors, disk drive, MRI, power generation, microphone and speaker, what I generally use, what I here use today, magnetic refrigeration, everything is magnets are role to play in it. Okay, so these are ND, PR, TV, and DY. Metal alloys like LSE, PR have a use in fuel cells, steel, lighter flints, super alloys. Phosphorus have used in medical imaging, lasers, fiber optics, display, fluorescent lights. Glass polishing were used in polishing compounds, colorizers, UV resistant glass, X-ray imaging. Catalysts have used in catalyst converter, diesel additives, industrial pollution, scrubber, chemical processing, petroleum refinery, and others like used in defense, nuclear, water treatment, pigments, and fertilizers. So these are the usage of rare earth metal. So not remember all, but remember the important point. Like in ceramics, remember sensors. Just a minute. In ceramic, remember sensors. Okay. In magnet, remember motors. Okay. Disk driver, MRI, power generation. In metals, remember fuel cells. Okay. Aluminum, magnesium are made from this alloy, and it has a further use in different activities. Phosphorus have medical imaging, lasers, glass polishing have a UV ray resistant glass which we wear to say full moon, new moon, or you can say lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, X-ray imaging. Here, petroleum refinery and chemical processing. And here, fertilizer, water management, defense, and energy. So all these are important points. So now we are going to solve one question only. Rare earth metals have its application in which of the following? Water treatment. Yeah, we see here water treatment in others. Here, water treatment. Petroleum refining here with catalyst. Catalyst. Yes, petroleum refining. X-ray imaging. Yes, X-ray imaging in glass and polishing. Fiber optics. Yes, fiber optics. I think in first one. Fiber optics in fiber optics is there somewhere. I do not remember, but fiber optics is also somewhere. I read it. Okay, fiber optics is there. Fiber optics is there. Usage in rare earth element. And magnetic maybe it not there, but fiber optics is used. Rare earth metals are very much used in fiber optics. Magnetic resonating imaging, MRI, yes, MRI. Where is MRI? Here is MRI. Okay. So all the activity, water treatment, petroleum refinery, water treatment, very important. No? When we treat water, we provide quality water to people who have not water to drink. Petroleum refinery, it in food security play a very significant role. X-ray imaging in health, fiber optics in physics, magnetic resonance imaging in health. So all these have a very much role in rare earth elements. So option is D. Now we check we are on the right path or not. So option is D. We are on the right path. Now move on to the another question called land frontier and coastal length of India. So basically it is talk about what is the length of land frontier of India, coastline of India, its length and breadth from north to south. So India measures 3,241 kilometers, or you can say this number of miles from north to south. That means 3,214 kilometers from north to south and 2,933 kilometers. Very, you can say approx 70, approx nearly 300 kilometers less than north to south, from east to west, and it had a land frontier of 15,200 kilometers. Land frontier of India is 15,200 kilometers. From north to south 3,200 and from east to west 2,900 approximately. The total length of coastline, of the mainland that means just a minute. This is a picture of India. So this is a coastline. Okay, this is a coastline. Okay, this is a coastline of a mainland, because this is a mainland India. Or this is the coastline of our islands, Andaman and Nicobar, and here Lakshadweep. So this is the land boundary of our islands. This is the land boundary of our coastline, and this one is the land. I'm sorry, this one is a coastline, and this green one is, you can say, land frontier. Just this green one is a land frontier. Okay, this green one is land frontier. This red one is a mainland coastline. This red one is the island coastline, and we know the length of from north to south, length of India is approximately 3,200 kilometers, and from east to west it is 2,900 kilometers. Okay, so the total land frontier, this one is approximately equal to 15,200 kilometers, and the total, you can say, coastline including mainland as well as island is approximately 7,500 kilometers. That means land frontier is more than coastline land boundary. So here we check my data is correct or not. Just I remember this is the fact regarding India. So we check here the total. Just a minute. The total length of coastline of mainland, Lakshadweep Island and Andaman and Nicobar Island is, yes, approximately 7,500 kilometers. So coastline of mainland, coastline of Lakshadweep Island, coastline of Andaman, all the three together is equal to 7,500 kilometers. But land frontier, length of land frontier is approximately 15,000 kilometers. This one is greater than this one. And Sri Lanka, another country, is separated from India. Sri Lanka is separated from India by a narrow channel of sea. It is separated from India by a narrow channel of sea formed by, and this sea is formed by Park Strait and Gulf of Mannar. So Park Strait and Gulf of Mannar form a narrow sea which separate India and Sri Lanka. I show you the image of it. Beautiful, very beautiful image of Park Strait and Gulf of Mannar, which create a narrow sea. This in this picture. This one is a Park Strait. Just a minute. This one is a Park Strait, and this one is a Gulf of Mannar. Okay, this Gulf of Mannar and this Park Strait created a narrow sea channel which separated. Red one is narrow sea channel, and it separates Sri Lanka from India. Okay. So this narrow sea channel formed by Gulf of Mannar and Pakistan. Okay. Now we move on, and in this picture you can clearly see the land boundary of mainland coastline island of Lakshadweep and Andaman is 7,560 kilometers. And if you add all the land frontier of Pakistan, some Pakistan, of China, of Nepal, Bhutan, of Myanmar and Bangladesh, it is approximately equal to 15,000 kilometers for 6 countries, and some of Afghanistan also. Okay, so Pakistan, Afghanistan, China. In this Tibet and Xinjiang region is also added. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 countries have share a land boundary with India. Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, and Bangladesh. And Sri Lanka is separated from the narrow sea, which is formed by Pak Strait and Gulf of Mannar. So one country is separated from us through this narrow sea channel, and 7 countries share a land boundary with India. And also in this picture, I show you what is the measure of land fields different countries. Pakistan 3,000, with China 3,488, Afghanistan very low 106 kilometers, with Bangladesh 4,000, with Myanmar 1,600, with Nepal 1,700, and with Bhutan 699. So major one is with Bangladesh, then China, and then Pakistan. So Bangladesh share more land border with India, then China, and then Pakistan. And after that, you can clearly see here Nepal, Myanmar, Bhutan, and Pakistan. So Bangla, China in one region, Nepal, then this one is Myanmar. Nepal, Myanmar, Bhutan, and Afghanistan. Last one is Afghanistan, first one is Bangladesh. Okay. So now move on to solving a question on this topic. Consider the following statement. The total length of coastlines of India, India's mainland, Lakshadweep Island, Andaman and Nicobar land together is more than the length of India's land frontier. Length of India's land frontier is more than coastline. Length of the coastline. Length of the coastline is 7,500, but length of land frontier is 15,000. So this one is better. So first one is wrong. Sri Lanka is separated from India. Sri Lanka is another country separated from India by narrow channel of sea formed by the Pak Strait and Gulf of Mannar. Yes, this one is correct. So our option is B. Now we are going to check we are on the right path or not. So option is B. Okay. So we are on the right path. So I think this is the end of what we are dealing today. So just summarize in 4 to 5 minutes. Our first topic of today's lecture is what is the first topic? I don't remember. I think first one, do not in a chronological order, we do not remember. But first one is related with land frontier and coastline, length of land frontier and coastline. Second, anti-national activity. Third one is I think inflation and unemployment. Anti-national activity, inflation, and unemployment. Fourth one is IPEF, and fifth one is rare earth elements. So rare earth elements. So in you can say in terms of length of coastlines and land frontier, we know that this is the map of India. So from north to south, this is approximately equal to 3,200 kilometers. From east to west, 209 kilometers. Length of coastline, main coastline plus Andaman, Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar is approximately 7,000 kilometers. length of land frontier, which is touching the boundary with here with Pakistan, here with Afghanistan, here with China, then Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, and Bangladesh. This is approximately equal to 15,000 kilometers. And we also know that Bangladesh share more border with India. After that, China. After that, Pakistan. And in other, first one is shared by Nepal, then Myanmar, then Bhutan, then Afghanistan. So Afghanistan share less boundary with India, and Bangladesh share more boundary with India. Okay. Second one is I'm going to talk about anti-national activity. So anti-national activity, this term is not defined in the statute. Through 42nd Amendment Act 1976, we inserted Article 31D in our Constitution, where anti-national activity term is defined. But later on, through 43rd Amendment 1977, we omitted this concept. So currently, there is no provision in Constitution as well as in the statute regarding to the definition or regarding the term anti-national activity. Okay. And also another important point in this regard is we are dealing with law and order. It is a state subject. It is the state subject. Central have a no role to play in it. Okay, law and order is a state subject. In terms of its, you can say investigation, registration, prosecution of accused, life and safety, or you can say property of accused. It is in the hand of the state government, and it is defined in the 7th schedule of the Constitution. That means law and order in the state subject. So in terms of any misfortunate things happen regarding law and order situation, and if condition in that area is deteriorated, then it's the responsibility of the state government to take a step in this area. Okay. Fourth one is we are talking about inflation and unemployment. I think third one. The fourth one I do not know. Inflation and unemployment. So in inflation and unemployment, I think third one. Inflation if inflation increases, unemployment decreases. Because when inflation increases, prices commodity high, firms try to produce more product, so they recruit more number of people. So employment increases, and employment increases, so unemployment decreases. And RBI have no direct role to not directly control the fuel prices through monetary policy, because through monetary policy they keep interest rate high, so less money is available in the hand of the people, so less money in the market, less money in the hand of the people, so they control the demand but do not control the prices of the fuel. Okay. Fourth one is, you can say, pillars of IPEF. So pillars of IPEF, 4 important pillars. First one is related to trade. Okay. Digital economy, emerging technology, and this in trade activity, smooth, efficient, make trade efficient, and trade between cross-border nation, data localization. All these things are in trade, in the pillar of trade. First one is trade. Second one is related to clean energy and decarbonization. Here we are focused on renewable energy. Okay. Purchasing of carbon credit and all those stuff. Third one is related with money, you can say corruption, taxes, and you can say taxes and prevent corruption. And fourth one is related with supply chain vigilance. So these are important pillars: trade, clean energy, taxes, and tackling corruption, and supply chain vigilance. And last one is, fifth one is rare earth elements. So in this topic, we earlier I talked about usage of it. You can say X-ray, in MRI, okay, in petroleum, water, you can say refining, petroleum, refining, MRI, X-ray, in other area like fiber optics, in motors, sensors, in capacitors. That means in different area we use the rare earth element. So they are varying shape, size, color, their origin, and they have a different usage in different sector. Now mostly they are used in health, in communication devices, in electronic devices, and other devices we made to send satellites into the space. So these are the 5 very important topics which are you can say going into different dimensions. And by understanding this topic as a whole, we gain some perspective about what is the different issues going on in the whole world. So I hope you love this lecture and enjoy this lecture. And again, understand it very clearly, apply it into your life, solve problem related to this in your life, and also help other people who are suffering from this problem, and help the country to reach its full potential. If every country reach its full potential, we achieve our goal, and it is only possible if each and every human being do activity very consciously, because human being different from the animal on the basis of consciousness, on the basis of awareness, on the basis of experience. So we must enhance our mechanism, gain this knowledge, apply in our life, and making our family, our individual itself, our family, community, nation, world, and the whole planet or whole world a good place to live, so that every human being blossom like a flower, and always they live a full-fledged life, a happy life in their whole lifespan. So, namaskaram. Thank you.